I've come to realize that owning a collectible vehicle is a bit like dating the popular girl at school. She's not your girl, it's just your turn. What I mean by that is, when you have cool cars like this around, a lot of the times you just get to be the steward of that car for a period of time and enjoy it, take care of it, maintain it. And I think that's the case here with my Briarwood. I have loved owning this. In fact, for the past 3 months, I had to send my Audi to a more experienced mechanic to do some work. And while it was gone, I drove this daily, like any normal car, on the highway to my office for 3 months, and it was flawless. I have zero complaints about the Briarwood. It worked great. Heat, air conditioning worked great, stereo worked great, cruise control worked fine, up and down the highway, rain, snow, sun, it was great. But my kids are getting older, and I recently got yet another car to serve for my 15-year-old who turns 16 in a few months. And so I have too many cars, and there's no way I can drive all of them, enjoy all of them. I can barely fit all of them here at the house. Just to get the race car out, I have to play musical cars. It's time to let this one go. But I can't just sell it. I can't just let it go to anyone. If you go back to the video that I recorded where I first got this, I acquired this Jeep from a lifelong family friend who was the first owner of this Jeep. And he trusted me with it shortly before he passed away. So I've had this for roughly 4 or 5 years since, and done a lot of work on it. But you know, there's only one person that I could think of, or one group of people that I feel like it'd be appropriate to have this, and so I'm going to send it back to the family from which I got it. And so the son-in-law of the gentleman who originally owned this is going to be taking it back, and hopefully his daughters, the granddaughters of the gentleman who first owned it, are going to be the next ones who drive it around, and they're all going to enjoy it, and it'll be back in their family. But before I let it go, let me tell you about everything that I've done to it. When I first got this Briarwood, it didn't run at all. So I immediately knew that the fuel system was not great, because the fuel in it was varnished. It was just awful. I looked in the tank was just completely rusted, corroded, almost rusted through. So I replaced, right off the bat, the fuel tank, fuel pump, fuel filter, fuel injector. Well, I replaced the fuel injectors later. Blew out the lines. So it's got a whole new fuel system in it. I was able to get it started at that point. Let's see, what else? From that point on, I needed to replace the alternator and the power steering pump. And I had the radiator spring a leak, and replace the radiator. But somewhere along the way, the early anti-lock brake system that came on this Jeep failed, and so I had to fix it. So I went in and I put in a later Jeep Cherokee non-ABS master cylinder to work the brake system. All new spark plugs, oil change, oil filter, air filter. serpentine belt, new battery, the throttle body, the IAC, and the throttle position sensor were bad. I had to replace those, and when I replaced those, I noticed that one of the lugs where the screws go in was stripped out, so I ended up replacing the whole throttle body. What else? So extensive work here under the hood to get this baby running. The interior was in relatively good shape, but there were some things that definitely needed some work. The steering wheel was leather and it had just deteriorated, and so I replaced it with this really, really nice wood steering wheel, which I topped off. I had to use these adapters here, and the horn button wouldn't fit, so I 3D printed a button to go in there to fill it off, and then added a Bluetooth stereo head unit in here. And I was gonna get around to the seats, but just didn't make it. Up underneath here, I can't neglect to mention the crankshaft position sensor that I replaced, and that's an investment in just making sure this thing will start for many years to come. And of course, I put on some 235/75 tires that a little bit bigger than stock, and just really make it look better and make it get a little bit of off-road performance. So I guess I'm really making this video just to kind of close out this automotive chapter and put a bow on the videos that I've made, that I've shared with you all, that a reasonable number of people have viewed, documenting this vehicle, and really just, capping it off with this. It's a wonderful vehicle. If you ever thought that you might want an XJ Cherokee, absolutely get one. They're fantastic vehicles. I enjoy this one. I don't know if I'll have another one someday, but I've had a Cherokee in my possession continuously in one form or another since 1996. So it's been a long time, and they're special vehicles to me, but it's time to draw this chapter to a close.